Hey folks, right, I thought I'd do this little video here because I've spotted all of these facts and figures basically in the paper. This is on the Daily Mail online, which I'll post the link to it underneath this video. And the numbers are quite shocking. We'll have a look at them here in a minute, but it's made me kind of think, obviously this shooting in Sandy Hook, and I'm sure it's something very fishy about it. I'm sure it is a problem reaction solution situation, all the dodgy things that are associated with it, and now is calling, isn't he, Obama, for the guns to be handed in, or to reduce the guns. And I can hear people in America going, oh, that's terrible, that's terrible. But actually this has made me think, you know what, culture is your operating system here. And when you look at these facts and figures, you'll see that the amounts of shootings and killings compared to everywhere else are quite shocking. Now, I want to think about the fact that, you know, America and the American presidents that we've had in the past, and I'm not saying that Tony Blair was any better, because he certainly wasn't, but America has had a little bit of a reputation over the years for being a bit sort of gung-ho, riding roughshod over other countries, invading them. You know, even as everybody's sort of up in arms about these children that have been shot, what about all the people that America's killing with drones in Pakistan all the time? You know, there's all kinds of killing being authorised all the time. It's my personal belief that if everybody in America actually gave in their guns, that would be bound to be having a reflection in your leaders, in the whole country's sort of psyche. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of this stuff is in our operating system. Now, before we just look at some of these figures here, because it's quite shocking. I mean, you've got let's just look at one here. 94,388 people shot in the US so far this year. 39 people killed by firearms in England and Wales over 12 months, 2008-2009. 190 people shot in the US on Saturday alone. I mean, the figures here are absolutely shocking. I mean, 35 people were killed by firearms in Australia in a single year. 60 people were killed by firearms in Spain in a single year. 9,484 people were killed by firearms in US in the same 12 months. Now, the other day I did a video about the hunt. I don't know if you know, folks that aren't from England or the UK know what a hunt is. But basically a hunt is where people get on their horses, dressed up in sort of silly hats and finery, go charging around the countryside, basically with a pack of dogs to kill a fox. Now here, you've only got to mention the word fox hunting and loads of people sort of, you know, start going into one about how terrible it is, how cruel it is, and the whole shebang. Now myself, I've always been not a hunt supporter, but a defender. A defender of the hunt, I suppose. And it's not that I'm into sort of killing foxes or animal cruelty, far from it. But they're supposed to do drag hunts, but actually it's been bizarre because the hunt here has just been fined, if you like, for having real hunts. Now, my reason for sort of defending the hunt, and I'm thinking, is this my culture? Is this my operating system? When I was a small girl, you know, and I'm talking very small, you know, and you can't sleep and you're looking at funny paintings on the walls, but there was pictures of people dressed up in, you know, in hunt gear in the house where I was. Have I always associated the hunt with people that know what they're doing? You know, when I see the hunt now and they're all charging about on their horses with the coats and that on, I think, oh, there's a certain thing about them that I think, oh, it's the hunt. It's because I've been brought up with it, and I can hear, I'm not brought up with it, but I defend their sort of right to be able to hunt. Foxes are very cruel animals, and I say to people, look, when there's absolutely no cruelty anywhere with any animals, then yes, let's ban fox hunting. When in actual fact they are banned from fox hunting. They're not supposed to be hunting the foxes now, they just charge about now, doing what's called drag hunts. But still people hate them. It's their operating system, and I can hear this in a lot of people when they're talking about this in America. You know, it's like defending their right to carry a gun, and blah, 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 blah. So, in as much as I'm prepared to put my hands up and say, okay, I'll admit that perhaps fox hunting is in my culture, and perhaps because it's in my operating system, I'm a little bit more sort of, I don't know, what's the word, wired for it, I suppose. then I'd like to put it to a lot of the folks in America that you're wired for carrying guns because it's in your culture, it's in your operating system, but it's completely out of step with world peace. The figures are on here and you can see for yourself how completely out of step it is with the whole rest of the world, this gun culture. And the other thing I'd like to say is that if as I've heard said in esoteric circles that Atlantis is the new Atlantis is America, then actually this is a chance for every single person to be accountable for their opportunity here to hand in their weapons. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'm a big believer that what goes around comes around. If you're going to get shot in the street by a nutter, it's the same as if you're going to die in a plane crash or die of cancer, or, you know, what will be will be. And if you've handed in your gun and you get shot, well, you can die a happy man. But what if you've not? What if you've trigger happily shot someone? Yes, so supposing you do get a shot. Well, if everybody put in their guns, then you'd get your numbers probably a lot more closer down to Spain. Obviously, USA is bigger than Spain and England. I don't know what the populations of these places are. But the difference between 39 people in England and Wales and 94,388 is phenomenal. You know, even if there was 1,000 people in England, you're still sort of, 93,000 ahead. 93,000 people shot with guns. I don't think that lots of Americans have got their head around the figures here because it's in their operating system. Just the same as me with fox hunting. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying be cruel to foxes. I mean, I'm really not. But I don't have the sort of mass hysteria response to fox hunting that a lot of people here do. And I think that is because it is in my operating system. It is in my culture. And so I'm just saying to all you folks in America, before you sort of start, going all crackers about we can't give up our guns and we need our guns, and do you actually? Or is it just like me with fox hunting? It's in your operating system. Anyway, I thought I'd just do that little video. So thanks for watching then. Thank you. Bye.